All right, our next question comes from Dragon Ronan, who writes in and says, "Hey guys, I love the show. Since you are all no strangers to the topic of superhero movies, I wanted to ask you something that has been in my mind. If Days of Future Past is indeed Hugh Jackman's last outing as Wolverine, do you think they should not only reboot him with a new actor, but also the X-Men film franchise as a whole? If so, do you think that they should include some of the newer characters from the comics that the general public is not familiar with, such as Dakin or my personal favorite, Romulus? Love to hear your thoughts on these two or any others. Keep up the great work."
Well, I mean, this brings up a topic we've talked about before, really. Well, first of all, let's get to the last part of your question. You were talking about Romulus or Dakin or whatever, and I think Dakin was Wolverine's son in some timeline. Okay. Could you introduce characters like that in a rebooted X-Men? Sure. I wouldn't build around them, though. I wouldn't have them as any of the primary characters. You got to build off of strength. And having characters that nobody's ever heard of in an X-Men universe is not building to your strength. You know, maybe build them up down the line, but don't build around them. But let's get to the primary question here. If Hugh Jackman is going to call it a career as far as Wolverine goes, and he has served us long and served us faithfully, but if he decides to call it a career, I believe there are many ways to do this right, regardless of which decision you make. If you decide to keep the current timeline, keep the current cast, don't reboot X-Men, just, you know, maybe replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and maybe replace one or two other actors because they're getting older. I believe there are ways to make that work. There are. So I won't be upset if they say they're not rebooting it and they just continue on and replace a couple actors. I won't be upset at all. I believe there are many ways to make that work. However, that being said, if I was the chairman at Fox, which everybody at Fox is thanking whatever God they believe in that I'm not, but if I was the chairman at Fox, here's what I would do. With them getting ready to relaunch Fantastic Four, and we keep hearing murmurings coming out of Fox that they want to create their own shared universe, much like Marvel has their own shared universe in their cinematic universe, then I believe this will be the right time to reboot X-Men entirely. You're rebooting Fantastic Four, reboot the X-Men, have them all start fresh in a brand new DC-themed cinema or Marvel-themed, not to be confused with Marvel Studios, but in their own Fox cinematic superhero universe. This would be the right time to do it. Now, once again, let me remind you, I'm saying I believe there are good ways to do it the other way too. I believe that can work. So I'm not saying this is the only way. I'm just saying I believe this way, rebooting the entire franchise while they're rebooting Fantastic Four, presents a lot of great blank page opportunities to take now this story and take these characters, fix mistakes you've done in the past, and really start fresh. So that's personally what I would do. But Aaron, I know you're a big X-Men fan. You're a fan of these types of things. How would you see something like this?
To be honest, I don't think that Wolverine should exist without Hugh Jackman. I think he completely embodies that role and did such a great job that I don't want to see another actor come in and become Wolverine. And I really don't want to see X-Men rebooted so soon either. I think that it's a great idea to introduce new characters, and this is a great opportunity to do so. But, I mean, Dakin, I don't even know how to pronounce his name because I've only ever seen it in print. That's how few people I know talk about this character. So those characters, not crazy about. And we've always been saying we want strong female characters. We want a female-centric movie that's coming out with, based on comics. And I think it's a great opportunity to introduce X-23. And I love this character. She's kind of a female clone of Wolverine. And why not give her her own movie?
You've been preaching X-23 for a while.
I have. Yeah. I like her. I think she's great. And now would be a great time to do that if Jackman decides to step away, of course, because I'd love to see him as Wolverine at least one more time.
Agreed.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.